Good day, everyone, and welcome. Before we start, we have a disclosure. Please be aware of risk in the future trading. We strongly recommend to stay on a sim as long as needed before you go live. This is not a place for play. We had on the other channel live beautiful run to the short, and we were done by before even at 12 o'clock. And now the short is over for today. This is the third day on the road. The market is extremely beautifully moving, and this is where you take advantage of the market. On the left upper corner, we have in your package around 8 automated trade, but we cannot cover everything here. We cover 2-3 auto trades. Practically every day, the same auto trades. We just had fired a signal long on 38.53. Target 38.74 is going straight to the target. I have extended those target. Usually I do that, but the auto trade put them right there, right here when it fires the signal. But I usually prefer for me to do that. In this kind of automated trade, every trade is different. Every trade, the target is different, and the trailing stop loss is different because it's based on a fib. And on this kind of auto trade, you can decide also take over from the auto trade if you want to, or you want to secure some of the profit. You can move your trailing stop and stop loss. On the scalper, it's the same auto trade we use, and we use a white chart. And if we look on the left upper corner here, this is the market analyzer for swing trading. The market analyzer is based on one lot, and you can see is we just turned from short to long, and now on the last entry signal we have 412 ticks into the profit. This kind of auto trade is different than a normal auto trade, but we will show you the different. On the right upper corner, this is the Scalper Signal, and because we have 2-3 different scalpers, but this one here, the signal scalper, is a base on a 15-second, and it is normally like today when the market was short. Usually the market analyzer pick up the immediate new signal for long before this one happened. So when you combine those two together, you can look at the market analyzer, and as an example right now, this market is going long. To some traders, they auto trade, and they don't have this extra experience to identify when this market is over, but then immediately they can see it from the scalper. When the scalper start firing short, that means you need to exit on the 1 minute. It's very simple. Even if somebody don't have a knowledge, you are up in the trading, let's say long, you're concerned, you don't know when it's going to turn around, then you keep your eye on the 15 seconds. The 15 seconds will start firing short before this one here start firing short. So this is where you can indicate that trend is over, whether it hit the target or not. I mean, the system on every entry, the target is different, unlike a normal auto trade, where a normal auto trade you set your trade, you hit your daily target, and then it is over. But here it is a total different. Let me see if we have one. Like on that kind of auto trade, you feed the auto trade with a trailing stop and a stop loss and a target. But on that one here, as you see, there is so many different signals inside the system, and this auto trade is we have some auto trades for beginners where they don't need to do anything, just turn it on, set the stop loss and turn it on and don't have to think about it. And this is called a scalper. This one here is the scalper. For a beginner doesn't want to use his head, that's his right. If he doesn't want to use his head, then you can set up your trailing stop and stop loss, and you let it be, and you can use the time frame you like, and it's over. Really does not require a lot of optimization. You can use 2 minutes or 10 range and get it over with. And if you use the 10 range, the reason is we start giving the 10 range, which is very profitable. The reason is you are killing the noises in the market, So for somebody who don't know what to do, I strongly recommend to use a scalper on a 10 range and get it over with, So you don't have to think about it. And if the market is trending, you're gonna nail it. If the market is not trending, welcome to trading. So this is the scalper. Even if you don't want it to use trailing stop or stop loss, if you put it on 0, the auto trade can take over. So even for a trader doesn't want to deal with the trailing stop loss, this one will take over. And so this is one kind of trade. And that one here, this is not fair, because there is some traders, they've been probably around 10 years and they never made it. So this kind of auto trade, it's not just you turn it on, you turn your back on it. This one here, you let the auto trade take the trades, as you see here, and set the trailing stop on the fib lines, and then you have the target. What we have done, you cannot pull back the trailing stop because it's based on fibs, but you can move the trailing stop. If you want to secure some of your profit, you can do that, and you can override it while still auto trading. And let's say if you think this market is gonna go to the next level, you can go ahead and extend it. So this kind of auto trade, I mean, not every 100% every trader wanna auto trade. He wanna, I prefer that, but sometimes you gotta get involved with the trade. So there is some traders that like the auto trade to take a trade, and they wanted to get involved in the trade between fib lines, estimate it, secure some of the profit, not to just let it loose in the market up and down by itself. So as an example here, on the NASDAQ, excuse me, right now on the last entry signal, we have 1,300, 2,000, and 900. Anyone understand we are coming to the fib line, and there is a sell and fire reversal. There is a struggling in the market. He can just go ahead and secure more profit, because most likely this market is going back. So this is where the trader knowledge it counts, because if you don't have knowledge and you just keep looking at the P&L, then you have around over $4,000 in a profit, and they can go ahead and smoke it out right from under your eye if you are not involved in the trading. So this is one type of an auto trade. You gotta keep your eye on it. As an example, this is the scalper, and the scalper here, the trailing stop is a base on fib. So you cannot just set it up to 10 ticks, 15. I hate dummy trailing stops, because usually dummy trailing stops, they make you exit after a good trade, and this is a good trade, and I don't like that. and this is the Russell. If you notice here, we had it came back to the trailing stop, and the trailing stop is a fib line. You exit on one trade, and now is going to climb to the target, and this is really for a guy. If you don't get involved, you know, which in my experience, auto trade by itself is not good enough. In my experience, when auto trade combined with a human and let the auto trade take the trades, set the target for you, give you an estimation where most likely probability you need to exit. So the calculation, the math has already been done. And then this guy, if he's been around, he can combine his knowledge, the fibs, the reversal, the pullback re-entry. If he does that, this is a very enjoyable to trade. In the same time, your emotions are not really involved, because what you are doing, you are securing your profit. And when you see a signal took a trade and it don't seem like it's going to be trouble, you can get rid of it immediately and override a bad signal, because you will have a bad signals on a chop day, not on a trending day. So as an example here, even if you are a NASDAQ trader or an ES trader, or they're all connected somehow. I don't want to go through details. Now, if you look, no matter what you do with the NASDAQ, always you got to keep your eye on the ES. If this ES able to break that area here, the NASDAQ will break that area. If this ES, always the NASDAQ, even go front of the ES, but when there is a major area, the NASDAQ stop, as you see here, and a fire by a reversal, because the ES fell. Now everything is falling. So this is really is up to the trader here to go ahead and secure a profit. And this kind of auto trade does not mean two clients or two traders using the same chart, the same auto trade, that will come out with the same profit every day. No, it's a very far from that. You cannot control every mature man out there. You don't know what he's doing by himself. So you have a guy is getting involved in the trade, understand where there is a problem in the market, and start securing the profits, where another guy is just looking at the P&L and dismissing what the market is telling him. And of course, those two people using the same system, but each one is looking at the chart in a different direction. One guy is looking at the price action, another guy just looking at the P&L and ignoring the warning sign in the market, which it is very bad habit, and I wish everyone to dismiss the P&L, because this is a market. In the market, one day you might make $1,000, tomorrow you might lose $1,000, another day you might make 500. So the P&L, they're just number, and they become numbers. But the most important things in this is do not let your P&L go in red for that day. This is your mission. Try to avoid to have red P&L, and even if you break even and you don't make money, you're still doing good. As an example here, this is very important to understand what kind of automated trade this one is. As we see here, and this is a very clear picture where the ES is struggling on that area here, and the NASDAQ is responding with the ES step by step. Even if the NASDAQ go ahead of the ES, is going to stay when there is a key, and there is a key here, is 38.6825. And this NASDAQ, if this ES break that area, the NASDAQ will break that area, and the YM break that area. So now if we have around $4,000 if they are able to break that area and hit the target where the system estimated you're gonna have the target, that will be not 4,000, that will be 8,000. However, if this market here not able to break that area, is gonna go back to the re-entry point and re-entry point and a re-entry point. So when you have two traders can understand that, one trader he might break even plus one tick, another trader can move a little bit, secure himself with the money, secure his profit somehow wherever he thinks is the best place for him. If he's not trained enough, he will pick it up. And then if this market cross those lines, then he knows he's now gonna double up the profit from 4,000 to 8,000. And if this market did not fail, he will not walk out empty-handed. At least he will secure 75% of the profit what he's looking at. So now the eye on the ES, and this is for a guy does not want to turn his brain off. He can do that. And if we wanted to look at this one here, the ES just took a trade from 30. If you want to turn off your brain, you don't want to do anything. This is the people's right. And I like to be my brain to be turned off sometimes too. 38, 56, 75, all the way to the 38, 65. Again, from 56 to 65, 25, you do the calculation, and you can see you can do that too. You know, so in your package, there is a reversal auto trade. There is all kind of auto trade. There is an institutional auto trade. There is a signal auto trade. There is a scalper. Look now, as you see, the CL just fired a new signal CL. If we go on the 1 minute, the CL on the long trade did not go that far. It was only 16 ticks, and now it fired a new signal. It tells you that means you need to close that position. And now this is a very important. If you notice, look, this is really does not need a brainer for that. It's telling you the market for the last 10 minutes, I'm having a problem here, I'm having a problem here. And now what it is, the market starts sinking right under your nose. And then here is your profit starts smoked out right under your nose. So this is what the message is. If you've been around and you wanted to be consistent and you want to get involved with the auto trade, this is a very enjoyable auto trade, and not everybody can have this pleasure or the time maybe to get involved, because some of you probably they are at work, they cannot do that. And then this is the second trade on the ES, and you can do that on putting it on a higher time frame, and whatever the outcome is the outcome. Because this one here, you cannot control this kind of auto trade, where on this one here, you can control your profit, and you can secure your profit, and you can secure everything. So this is one type of an auto trade. And now what we want to do, and I showed you, like you can also try to, let me see, even if you are on a smaller amount of money, on the scalper also you can use a high time frame on the NASDAQ Dow Jones. You can use whatever you want, and you can see this is the trade from the scalper, and then you have to find a place where you say, okay, enough is enough for today. So also you can use a 550 ticks. If you are at work, you don't want to sit down and babysit a chart. I can be related to that. Some people has to work also at the same time. So this is between the scalper and the signal, And you can see right now, look at this, the ES start fire and sell, which you had a good profit in here. And when this one fires sell, this means you need to run and close this one here. Even if you're not um, a trader, been around, but when you are trading 1 minute on a swing trading, and the 15 seconds start firing short, that means you need to start closing position and secure your profit. So this is also totally for people has knowledge and they want to get involved in the trade. This is a very enjoyable and relaxing to trade with. So now we want to cover the TI7. It's a totally different auto trade than the signal, and the scalper is a total different auto trade. If you notice, we don't show 1 day a tick chart, 1 day Renko bar, 1 day line break, 1 day a tick chart 144, the second day 244. If you notice on our video, we use the same charts every day. And what we do, we use from 1 to 5 minutes. And depends how you want it to trade, whether you want to be aggressive, conservative, medium, you want to scalp or swing trade, the TI7 can do that. So this is the CL right now. Is just took the trade, and it looked like it's struggling, but you can see earlier it's been doing very well. And on the last trade, nailed $440. It's right there. You can see it. This is the ES 1 minute, 1475. What you can do, you can swing trade or scalp. Anything that daily target below 1,000, it is a scalping, and you can use it on one contract, two contract, or whatever you want it, or on a micro account. CL still in the trade. ES 600 if you want to scalp it, or if you want to swing trade it. There is another one here for swing trading. So you can scalp it, or you can swing trade it, you can filter it, you can put the daily target if you are using a micro account, or if you have 2 contract, 3 contract, whatever you want, 1240. And then you can decide what entry you want, because in 2021, one entry is no longer valid. What works on the ES does not mean that entry is going to work on the NASDAQ, and what works on the NASDAQ does not mean it's going to work on the YM. And anyone feel that one entry can take a DAX, CL, NASDAQ, ES, Russell is a fool, because ES is one animal, NASDAQ is another animal, YM is a. So what works on the ES does not mean it's going to work on the YM. So on the TI7, there is a huge variety of entry, and it requires a little training. Does not mean you need to sit in the class, listen to me for 1 year. No. It require probably a couple of 3 weeks working time, and to learn how to set it up, how to optimize it if you want to optimize it, and we did good, and yesterday video I showed you about this gentleman Daniel from Israel. I made him make his template. Before, he used to copy my templates, and his chart today made 1,945, and that is his template. You can go back to the video yesterday. So, and that guy has been with us now for 6 months. He finally got it, and he nailed it, and he started nailing the charts very well. We have another gentleman today in the room when we were live trading. He's been nailing it every day, big time, and I shared his trades today in the other channel live. So you notice those guys, when they come in, they struggle at the beginning because the system is big. There is a signal, there is a scalper, there is, but then, you cannot say, give me the best you have. You cannot do that, because we have some traders, they only want to trade the TI7. No matter what kind of updates you want to give them, they only want to trade TI7. And today on the live channel, the other one, he said the TI7 is killing it at the market. And this guy, you cannot ask him to do anything. Then we have some people that just don't want to deal with the TI7. They want to deal with the scalper. They just want to put it on 10 range and put a trailing stop loss and call it off. That's their right, you know. And then you have another guy, none of those auto trades he like to trade the signal. He doesn't want the auto trade to be in control with his portfolio. He wants to trade his signal, you know. And we have some people from Europe also living in the state. Mainly the Europeans, they like to trade the signals, you know. And we have in the state, we prefer, most of them, they prefer to scalp. And then you have in between those experienced traders, they'd like to trade the TI7. So you cannot say, give me the best you got. What it is what you want to do, and what risk you want to take. Are you going to be babysitting the chart? You're not. Are you going to, do you have an experience or not? Because like on the signal entry, the scalper and the swing trading require a little knowledge about the market. You cannot just go right through it in 1 week. So depends on that. Like when we receive a phone call, some people are interested only in that kind of trade, scalper, because they know their limitation. It's their right. And some people, they are interested in the TI7. And some people, they are interested only in the signal. And they want to trade with the fibs, and they want to be controlled with their trade. So it depends on what you are looking for. And then what you do, you find what you like in your package, and then you go for it. You use your time, your training on that auto trade, the one you feel like you are connected. We have some people that like to use the reversal auto trade, and they will not change it for anything. And none of those they wanted to trade. They just want to trade the reversal. You can see on the other channel live, we teach how to trade reversal, and we have an automated trade for a reversal. So it's not what system, is what you are related to and you are comfortable with. So if you take a guy, he wants to scalp. The reason he wants to scalp, because for a reason, he has no clue what's going on in the market. I can respect that. And there is a guy, you give him that, he gets insulted because he has put 10 years behind the screen, and he's not going to buy, just be in control with one auto trade. And one day he might make 1,000, maybe another day. He wanted to get involved. So to these questions you get, what is the best? I say, you need to try them all. It's all in your package under one file. I cannot separate them. So it is up to you what you are connected. But don't expect to get any system out there and go buy yourself a license key on NinjaTrader and start going live. I've been doing this for 28 years. If you give me an auto trade today, I will not be ready to auto trade that auto trade at least for another 6 weeks, because I want to understand it. I want to understand the limitation of that auto trade, how it works under the stress. And today the market is trending, how it works when there is volatility, how it works morning hours, what instruments are very good with it. So it takes time to step into new territory and learn a new mechanical trade, and you don't just turn it on and bang on it, and it's going to give you a couple $1,000 the second day, and not knowing how the engine work in it. What is the limitation on it, that auto trade? How it handle in a volatility market? How it handle when the market is trending? What is the best time frame for it? What is the best trailing stop for it? What is the best stop loss for it? All those corners, they're not just push button and fly to the moon. So also there is some traders that combine the fib line on the scalper, so they know where is their limitation on that, and they can override the auto trade, so and secure some profit. So no matter what you do, no matter how you turn the box around, at the end of the day, you need to understand a little bit about the market. It's not just a switch on and a switch off, and a patient is number one friend for you, folks. That's all what we have. Now, I want to show some other example, please. Here is the auto trade, fire trade, and telling you most likely the market is gonna turn around at 22.30. This one here coming from the signal. And then, as you see, I mean, this is a typical thing sometimes. Sometimes you see you have $1,000 trade, and you miss the target by one tick, and then you can, come and take over. And look at this now. And if the market is trending, the auto trade extend the target automatically. And the market is not trending, the target is going to stay, as you see here. Now this is on the 10 range. This is the third round today on the 10 range. This is the third round. So in other words, once it hit the $1,000, you go back and hit it one more time. So and then once it hit it, you can go back and right-click, reload it, and let it go for one more round. And now it's gonna start all over again and go for one more round. So when you see the market is trending, you can go for 1 round, 2 rounds, 3 rounds. But when you can see the market is not trending and your auto trade is struggling for that day, let's say your daily target is 1,000 and you're hardly making $500, and you can see the auto trade is struggling, does not mean we're gonna keep banging on the auto trade. What we do, we just hold on to this, or maybe you can start after half an hour when the market starts smoothing out, or you say, my daily target is 1,000. I made 500. I can see the auto trade is going in a circle, making a 1 winning trade, 1 losing trade, 1 winning trade. We are going tango, 1 step forward, 2 step backward. Then I'll call it off for today. This is something soon or later you have to get involved in the trading. So even on a fully blinded auto trade, you still you need to, now there we go, start taking another trade. For the signal, this is another story here. For the signal, you can see this market coming, pulling back at this resistance line. Now at the end of the day, I know I am on the fib, and it is a major fib, but now the markets start coming in 2 times to the same resistance line, and I'm having a problem closing the target here. So what I want to do, I'm going to cover some of this profit, and then either it's going to hit the target, or it's going to go back and knock me out. Either direction, I'm happy with it. But I got involved in the trade because the trailing stop was at the fib line, and the fib line was way up. So you cannot avoid from getting involved in the market, especially when you talk about money. Now, in front of you, this one here made 1,000, and we reset it, and now we are on the second round. This is the 4th round on the scalper, and now you made 1,000 in a few minutes in there. That means there is a much more potential to make more money on it. And then on the pullback, it was right at the fib. the market, the auto trade took a trade. On the previous trade, you made 1,000. So this one here isn't. I don't want it to be making another 1,000. I can see the timing now. We are about done. Maybe it's gonna run, or maybe it's not. But at least what I will do, I will cover it and put it to break even somehow, so I will not ruin my daily profit today. So also getting involved in the trade. There is nothing wrong with it, even if you are working at the office. Does not hurt if you have a 5 second, you say, I'm busy, I cannot look at it. There we go. Now I broke even here. I don't care what will happen to the market. If this market go back and knock me out, then it's fine. Or I can override it and close it with 500 and turn around and do whatever I'm doing. So you will not able to just totally ignore the market and expecting to be winners on this. What I want to do, I want to stay a little bit longer, because now I'm curious if it's gonna hit $1,000 on one trade on the scalper. So on this one here, we got stopped out, and I got it very close to the resistance, but at least either direction, I'm happy with it and I'm done with it. So it is okay. It's very fine. I don't have to be perfect with it. As long, you should not say, well, I need to make $1,000 today and burn your finger. Maybe the market is not willing to give you $1,000. Maybe today you will say, I will stop. I can see there's a problem in the market. The auto trade is struggling today. I'll call it off at 375. I prefer to stop at 375 and not go on 1,000. And most likely, probably, it's gonna be a problem to do it. And that it is. Really, it's been a problem among because the most noises comes from naive traders, and the most noises comes from amateur trading, naive trading, thinking you just buy NinjaTrader license and buy yourself a couple $1,000 auto trade, and now you're gonna be flying on the moon. And this is a very and now we are done with that trade. This is another 1,000 on that trade, and we are done with it. And you saw it right in front of your eye, and it was a perfect entry and a perfect exit. And if we look at this, it's a beautiful entry, beautiful exit. We did not miss anything out of that trade. Folks, that's all what we have for you today. And if we have time, we will, of course, we will go live tomorrow on the other channel. Thank you very much. God bless you, and wish you a pleasant evening, and be safe. Bye for now.